Hey everybody, this is dHunter bringing another action figure collection video. This is going to be episode 31 of dHunter's complete unopened Batman related action figure collection. This is going to be part 8 of my DC Direct figures. This episode will consist of the DC Direct and DC Collectibles, Batman the Animated Series, the new Batman Adventures action figure collection. This was a huge collection that DC Direct started on. Unfortunately, they didn't quite get to release everything shown, as DC Direct crumbled at the very end there. In this video, we'll take a look at each of the figures, wave by wave. We'll take a look at everything that I have unopened, and everything I've opened, and I believe I've got 2 of every single thing in the animated series line. It is 100% complete, with the exception of some of the Justice League characters that are not Batman. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see how extensive my unopened Batman-related action figure collection is, check out episode 1, the overview. There will be a link in the description below. Let's see how we got to this point. Before we dig into this video, let's take a quick look at my overall action figure collection. Here's when I had everything laid out in the house. So I think I've finally done it. I've unpacked all of the figures. As you can see here, we have the Diamond Select Toys Gotham collection. Here's a bunch of my Mezco unopened figures. Some more Mattel stuff. Here's the Legends of the Dark Knight line. This is the Batman Power Attack line. Sort of Batman Unlimited. All my Justice League Unlimited stuff. This is the entire DC Direct and DC Collectibles Arkham collection. Mattel's 1966 line, DC Superhero Girls, all the different NECA Batman figures, some Target exclusive line, all the amazing Yamaguchi figures back there, some Spin Master stuff, the Mattel Batman Missions line. Of course, in the very back, it's my entire comic collection with all the recent McFarlane releases in front. And above that, got a bunch of DC Direct and Mattel figures in the last several years. Moving on, pretty much the entire Mattel's The Batman line. Back here in the back, got my SH Figure Arts Batman figures. This side, we've got all the different Mattel Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins figures. Massive amount of piles. Back here we've got the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series figures, and a lot of them are on top as well. Can't wait to get to that video. That one and the Arkham collection and DC Universe Classics. Some videos I'm really excited to do. Here are the Mattel figures. I can see the Batman Legacy, Batman Unlimited. It goes all the way from the original Batman line. Here's the Batmobile. And it's going to go all the way to DC Superheroes, DC Universe Classics, and Multiverse. A ton of figures. Great era with Mattel. Fun stuff. But I do like what McFarlane's doing. But I do miss these days, that's for sure. Going back to Kenner and Hasbro. Ton of Batman Beyond. Batman the Animated Series stuff. I mean, that just seemed endless to go through. My word. Look at these piles of unopened figures. Batman Animated Series continues all the way back here. Absolute ton of stuff just stacked up. On top of this table here, got all the Mafex figures and a bunch of one-offs. Some Hasbro, some McFarlane, or Mattel rather, anniversary figures. Amazing Yamaguchi, Kia Asima, all kind of different import type stuff. Then we've got JLA and Total Justice figures. And then on to all the rest of the DC Direct stuff. Bunch of DC Direct Batman related figures. Some more chill in the back here. And I filled up all these shelves temporarily, just storing all these DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And it's almost done. Here's the Mattel Batman Brave and the Bold line. I did not realize how extensive that got. And a ton more Brave and the Bold down here. Moving on again. Some old Toy Biz, Super Friends, and DC superhero figures, leading into the Dark Knight collection. Then we'll go to the Batman Returns figures. And then, of course, Batman Forever, Batman and Robin. There's a bunch of different Batcaves. And some more animated stuff in the back there. Before we dig into all the figures, let's open up with a couple cool shots. Here are all the Batman Rogues from Batman the Animated Series. And then here are all the Batman Rogues from the new Batman Adventures. DC Direct, DC Collectibles, they did a great job covering many villains. There's only a few that I feel like are truly missing. Maxie Zeus, the Clock King, Rupert Thorne, the new Batman Adventures Penguin, for example. Some of the figures didn't get both releases, but I'm very happy with what they've given us. So this will be Series 1 of the animated line. They didn't release the figures in the order I thought they would. I figured they would start off by doing Batman the Animated Series, and then move on to the new Batman Adventures. Here in Series 1, you can see the blue packaging figures are from the new Batman Adventures, and the red Catwoman is from Batman the Animated Series. A little bit unexpected. So let's take a look. As you can see, 75 years of Batman, the new Batman Adventures. Here's Batman, the first figure in the line. Batman. The backside simply have the new Batman Adventures look. Now DC Direct did a bold move. They made these figures in the 6-inch scale, not their traditional 7-inch scale. That's something that kind of pains me about this line, although it's still a great collection. Next, let's look at Two-Face, the new Batman Adventures. Two-Face. He's the second figure in the line. Back, simply have the Bat family from the new Batman Adventures. Here's Mr. Freeze, the new Batman Adventures. Mr. Freeze, figure number 3. One really cool thing about him, you have Freeze in his regular cryo suit, and then you have robotic legs you can put his head on, so it's almost like 2 figures in one. Bat family. And here's Catwoman. This is the first figure from Batman the Animated Series. 75 years of Batman. Figure number 4. Catwoman. She comes with Isis. Very cool little feature. In the back, Batman the Animated Series logo of Batman. Now this was Series 1. There were a lot of breakage issues. I know me personally, my Batman's feet broke off. My Catwoman broke at the arm and the leg. Allegedly, DC Collectibles had some really nice customer service at the beginning. If you messaged them, they would try to replace your figure. I didn't bother, I just glued mine back together. They also did re-release Series 1. They did it where they wouldn't have the sort of pinholes on their joints. I never got any of the re-release versions that were more sturdy. I was stuck with these guys, and left with kind of a bad impression of the line right off the get-go. Here's the Batman from Series 1. This is from the new Batman Adventures. I was really surprised they didn't lead off with the Batman the Animated Series Batman. These guys are very stylized. Legs are way too skinny. Figures are too short, and they feel very fragile. Their articulation leaves a lot to be desired. But as the collection grew, it became something beautiful together. I was a little bit disappointed with the first offerings, though. Here's Two-Face. He's also from the new Batman Adventures. I personally much prefer the designs from Batman the Animated Series, so I was a little disappointed it was so the new Batman Adventures heavy from the Wave 1. His legs are just so skinny. Beyond that, it is a good looking figure. And here's Freeze out of the pack, also for the new Batman Adventures. I much prefer the Batman the Animated Series look of Mr. Freeze. This one's much thinner. He almost looks sickly. Here's Catwoman. Finally something from Batman the Animated Series, and Catwoman's design was great. Now, my figure number 1, Batman, his foot broke off, and then Catwoman here, her arm broke at the shoulder and at the elbow. A lot of glue holding that thing together. Really pleased she came with Isis, though. So that was the end of Wave 1. Left me with kind of a bad taste in my mouth. The figures were smaller than I wanted. Articulation was subpar. They were very stylized and very fragile. The line did improve quickly though. Now let's look at figures number 5 through 9. We've got Batman the Animated Series, the Joker, Robin, and Man-Bat, and then the new Batman Adventures, Poison Ivy and Killer Croc. Here's Joker, Batman the Animated Series, figure number 5 in the line. The Joker, pretty classic looking Joker, not quite as thin as some other figures. Very nicely done. The back, simply the Batman the Animated Series logo. Batman the Animated Series, figure number 6. This is Robin. This is Dick Grayson. Batman. Then we've got Man-Bat. This is the first oversized deluxe figure of the line. Batman the Animated Series, figure number 7. Man-Bat. Giant wing spread. He comes with a pair of alternate wings. He also comes with these pill bottles and this cassette. Batman Animated Series, Animated Series. This is definitely one of my favorite figures in the line. He's large. I like that a lot. Here's Poison Ivy. She's from the new Batman Adventures, figure number 8. Poison Ivy. Some interesting accessories in the back. The Bat family. And then we have Killer Croc, the new Batman Adventures, figure number 9. Killer Croc. Now he comes with Baby Doll and a turkey. He's from a very specific episode of the new Batman Adventures. They're both sort of physically disfigured, and they ended up leaning toward each other. Very excited to get Baby Doll. First time we've ever got a figure of her, although I would have much preferred her animated series look. Croc, cool, but I sure would have preferred his animated look as well. But they made both those in the future. Well, not Baby Doll, but both Croc and Poison Ivy. In the back, Batman family from the new Batman Adventures. Here's Joker out of the box. He's a pretty nice, standard looking Joker for Batman the Animated Series. Purple suit, pretty simple articulation. Now if you miss this figure, because he was one of the more sought after figures, they later released him with a big accessory pack, but you would have the regular Joker in there as well. Here's Robin. The figure's quite small. I'm pretty sure he got released at least 4 different times. Twice with the plastic cape, once with the cloth cape, and once with some shell shading. Here's Man-Bat out of the box. Look how wide his wing spread is. It is wider than the actual box. It's a great looking figure. He's massive. I like the fact that he's so big. He can kind of fit in with some of the other lines. Maybe DC Universe Classics. Maybe with some of the other DC Direct figures. Here's the new Batman Adventures, Poison Ivy. She has that green tinted skin. Her head is just way too large to the body. The new Batman Adventures is way more stylized than Batman Animated Series. Lost a lot of the realism. I still love both the designs, but lean way heavier to the original. Here's Killer Croc and Baby Doll. Now I was kind of surprised they included Baby Doll with Killer Croc. I mean, it makes sense for the episode, but Croc's a pretty big figure. You'd think they would have saved a packet like this with something small. Now I was so stoked to get Baby Doll. I would never have ever thought of someone making her in action figure form. Fantastic they did this. She's one of the few characters that didn't get both the new Batman Adventures and Batman the Animated Series release. I really wish they released the Batman the Animated Series version. That was where she originated. Here are figures 10 through 13. We have the new Batman Adventures Robin and the Creeper, and then Batman the Animated Series, Harley Quinn, and Batman. It is about time they gave us the Batman the Animated Series Batman. The new Batman Adventures, figure number 10. This is Robin. He is a very small figure. This is supposed to be Tim Drake. Backside, got the Batman family for the new Batman Adventures. And then here is the Creeper, figure number 11. The Creeper. Found that to be a very odd character choice. He was only in one episode. There were so many other characters they should have made first. It seemed like they had a lot of longevity in mind with this line, spreading out the major players. The Bat family. Here's Harley Quinn, Batman the Animated Series, figure 12, Harley Quinn. Now she looks pretty much the same in Batman the Animated Series and the new Batman Adventures. She comes with a Jokerfish, Batman, and finally, Batman from Batman the Animated Series, figure 13, Batman. Classic standard Batman with a Batarang and a grapple. Batman. Here's the Tim Drake Robin out of the package. It is a very small figure for the same price as all the rest. Very expensive for such a small thing. Sure, it's a small character, but I really felt like he should have been a pack-in. And here's the Creeper. A very odd choice for a character to make, but a welcome one. Creeper doesn't get a lot of love in action figure form. He came with a rat, a pool stick, and a little Batman mask. I could do a ton with those accessories. Here's Harley Quinn out of the box. Another very small figure. Her limbs are like twigs. She's very fragile and looks very similar to the New Adventures Harley Quinn they released later. Here's Batman. This is how they should have kicked off the line in my opinion, but better late than never. Solid figure, but has some of my same complaints about the overall line. Here are figures 14 through 18. We have Batman the Animated Series, the Riddler, and Penguin. Then we have the new Batman Adventures, Batgirl, Roxy Rocket, and Nightwing. I was really excited for Roxy Rocket, a brand new Batman Rogue, never released before. Let's take a look. Batman the Animated Series, figure 14, the Riddler. He's this pretty cool sort of video game type accessory, a great addition to my Riddler shelf. Nice cane, suited Riddler. The back, as always, Batman the Animated Series logo. Then we have the Penguin. Although he's a short figure, this thing is very heavy. He's fat, very solid. Batman the Animated Series. He's got a nice umbrella on the back. The Penguin, figure 15. Batman. And now switching to the new Batman Adventures. Here is Batgirl, the new Batman Adventures, figure 16. Batgirl. She's in her darker suit. The Bat Family from the Batman Adventures. Here's Roxy Rocket. This is a deluxe figure. She comes with a giant rocket. Absolutely fantastic. Figure looks great. I've always been a fan of this character. Figure number 17. Roxy Rocket. A wrench. A couple guns. New Batman Adventures. And then we have Nightwing, an important member of the Batman family. The new Batman Adventures, figure 18. Nightwing. Here he is. He comes with a Nightwing specific Batarang type thing. I think that's really cool. The Batman family. Here's the Riddler. Very solid figure. Normal, green suited Riddler. Straight from Batman the Animated Series. Legs are a little thin. Beyond that, solid figure. Here's the Penguin. Short, round figure. The hat is not removable, and that's a negative. Very good looking figure. Here's Batgirl. She was only really officially Batgirl in the new Batman Adventures. Her couple appearances in Batman the Animated Series were kind of unofficial. She's in her darker outfit. Very, very thin limbs. Very brittle figure. She broke in at least 2 different places, maybe even 3. A lot of glue holding this one together. Here's Roxy Rocket and a rocket out of the box. I was so happy they made her. Another Batman Rogue that was created in Batman the Animated Series. And they've never made a figure of her until now. Now the figure itself, a little smaller than I would have liked, but I'm very happy to have her. The rocket though, that thing is fantastic. It's thin, it's sleek, very well done. Here's Nightwing. He has that ugly, the new Batman Adventures mullet. His limbs are very small, especially his legs. But it's really nice to be able to put Batman, Nightwing, Robin, and Batgirl for the new Batman Adventures together. Here are figures 19 through 24. We've got the new Batman Adventures Bane and Scarecrow, and the Batman the Animated Series Mad Hatter, Mask of the Phantasm 2-pack with Batman and Phantasm, and then Batman the Animated Series Commissioner Gordon. Fairly solid lineup. The new Batman Adventures, figure 19, Bane, pretty big, pretty heavy figure. The Bat Family. The new Batman Adventures, figure 20, Scarecrow. It's a pretty nice design for Scarecrow. And then on to Batman the Animated Series, figure 21, Jervis Tetch, Mad Hatter. He's a pretty tall figure. I really like this version of Mad Hatter. He's one of my favorites. He fits in decent with the rest of my collection. Accessories are cool. Batman the Animated Series. Here is Mask of the Phantasm from the animated movie, Batman and Phantasm. It's a straight up re-release from the original single version of Batman the Animated Series. 22, Batman and Phantasm. Very nice to get Phantasm in 6-inch scale. Never been done before. And Batman the Animated Series, figure 23, Commissioner Gordon. Really nice to have him. Big, bulky figure. Limbs are not thin at all. He's got the pistol. I like it. Here's Bane for the new Batman Adventures. Taller figure than the rest of the line. Legs are super thin. His torso is crazy giant. Nice figure, but I do prefer the Batman the Animated Series look of Bane. Here's Scarecrow out of the pack. I found the opinion of a lot of people who are like me and prefer Batman the Animated Series looks. This might be the one exception. I still prefer the Batman the Animated Series Scarecrow, but this is a very nice design. Creepy. Here's Mad Hatter. This is probably the tallest Mad Hatter figure that any company has made. For that reason, I really like him. He's in his long overcoat. He's got a top hat. It's a nice version of Mad Hatter. Here's Batman and Phantasm. Like I said before, Batman was 100% the same. Absolutely no differences, and that was a little bit annoying. Phantasm here, though, is fantastic. Great figure. Here's Gordon. What a great Batman supporting character. Very important to the Batman mythos in the animated series. I really do enjoy this figure. Here are figures 24 through 28. We have Batman the Animated Series, Ra's al Ghul and Zatanna, the new Batman Adventures, Etrigan and Clarion, the new Batman Adventures, Harley Quinn and Firefly. Pretty nice lineup. Little surprised with getting Etrigan and Clarion, as well as Zatanna. Zatanna made a little bit more sense based on Batman the Animated Series. Still, these are all welcome figures. Batman the Animated Series, figure 24, Ra's al Ghul. I love the fact that he came with both the unmasked head and the demon's head. Ra's al Ghul. Batman. Now, of course, we need a Talia to go with him, and it would have been really cool to get a shirtless Ra's versus Bruce Wayne 2-pack. Batman the Animated Series, figure 25, Zatanna. She has a cool little poster for her, as well as a staff. Zatanna, very thin figure, pretty cool. She helped Batman to get trained in the art of escape, like Houdini. The new Batman Adventures, figure set number 26, Etrigan and Clarion. He comes with that cat, giant demon figure, and Clarion a magic user. Then we have Harley Quinn from the new Batman Adventures, figure 27. Harley Quinn looks very similar to the animated one. Proportions just slightly different. And here's Firefly, the new Batman Adventures, figure 28, Firefly. Hell yes. You do not get a lot of Firefly figures, and this one looks great. A little bigger than some of the other figures, so he's able to fit in with a lot of my other collections. Here's Ra's al Ghul. I really like this figure. His cape looks good. I love the fact they have a couple of different display options with the mask and the unmask. Here's Zatanna. Super scrawny. Legs are so thin, as almost all the women are. Very hard to stand. She's actually leaning against the package. Not really a necessary figure for your Batman supporting characters, but a welcome one. Here's Etrigan and Clarion from a very specific episode of the new Batman Adventures. Not really necessary, although I definitely like Etrigan, so I was welcome to get that guy. And Clarion, he's small, but he's kind of like a kid, a magic user. Not very important to fight Batman. Here's the new Batman Adventures Harley Quinn, very similar to the animated series version. This one has very thin limbs as well, although believe it or not, she's thicker and taller than the animated one. Here's Batman Animated Series Harley Quinn, next to the new Batman Adventures Harley Quinn. Here's Firefly, definitely my favorite figure from this set. He looks great. He's in the new Batman Adventures look, but very similar to his comic look. The figure is also not as thin as some of the other figures, and he's a little bit taller. 2 thumbs up. Here are figures 29 through 33. We have Anti-Fire Suit Batman from the new Batman Adventures, and then Batman the Animated Series Clayface, Harvey Bullock, Ventriloquist and Scarface, and Talia al Ghul. Very strong assortment. I was very pleased with these figures. Clayface, he might be my favorite release from the entire animated series line. I'm a huge fan of Clayface. I really like the episodes. The figure is a deluxe oversized figure, ton of different display options, and he fits in good with the other 6 or 7 inch figures. Harvey Bullock, I don't believe he's ever had a figure made. I was super happy they made him. Ventriloquist and Scarface, they've never done him in 6 or 7 inch form before. And then Talia al Ghul, Raish needed her next to him. The new Batman Adventures, figure 29, Anti-Fire Suit Batman. This will be great to pit against Firefly. And then on to the Batman Animated Series figures. Here is Clayface, magnificent figure, figure number 30, Clayface. He has a ton of alternate arms, heads, animated series. Batman Animated Series, figure 31, Harvey Bullock. Very heavy figure. Looks nice in his trench coat. A little sloppy. Batman Animated Series, figure 32, Ventriloquist and Scarface. Love that old school gangster Scarface. Ventriloquist looks great for the animated series. We have a Tommy gun. Here is Talia al Ghul, figure 33. Pretty good looking figure. Comes with a gun. Here's Anti-Fire Suit Batman. I wasn't crazy excited for this guy, but he's a must-have to pit against Firefly. Here's Clayface out of the box. He is definitely my favorite action figure from Batman the Animated Series line. Not my favorite release. I don't like him more than the Batwing or the Batmobile. But he's just such a great figure. I really wish they made the new Batman Adventures version. Here's Harvey Bullock. Very solid figure, very heavy. He has that nice look from the animated series. Very pleased with this guy. Here's the Ventriloquist and Scarface, Arnold Wesker. This is the largest version of the Ventriloquist ever made. They look fantastic. Really pleased with this release. Here's Talia. I love the outfit she's in, sort of that spy outfit. She's going to be great at Raish al Ghul's side. Now she seems a little bit thicker and taller than some of the other females in the line, and I was really happy about that. Here are figures 34, 35, and 36. We have the new Batman Adventures Joker, and then a couple of multi-packs. The new Batman Adventures 5-pack Girls Night Out with Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Livewire, Supergirl, and Batgirl. And then the new Batman Adventures 3-pack, The Dark Knight Returns themed. This is from an episode where they were telling different stories and different takes on Batman. This has a giant oversized Batman, Carrie Kelly Robin, and the Mutant Leader. The new Batman Adventures, figure 34, the Joker. In addition to the Joker in there, you get a 2 hyenas, Bud and Lou, and that is awesome. The back, Batman family for the new Batman Adventures. Here's this multi-pack, new Batman Adventures. It's a 5-pack. Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Livewire, Supergirl, and Batgirl. Now, I believe this is the only way you could get the Livewire and Supergirl, but the rest was exactly re-release. we have this Dark Knight Returns theme pack. Very stylized. This Batman looks honestly ridiculous. Very heavy. Batman, Carrie Kelly Robin, Mutant Leader. Figure set number 36. Here's the new Batman Adventures Joker out of the package. He also has his hyenas, Bud and Lou. And although I prefer the Batman the Animated Series Joker, I am so happy they gave us Bud and Lou. Those are some fantastic pack-ins. Now, I didn't actually get the Girls' Night on Gotham pack open. I showed a little bit of restraint here. My collection is predominantly Batman related. All the Batman characters I already had were exactly the same. Absolutely no differences. And I already had a Livewire and Supergirl I was happy with that were not animated style. Here's the Dark Knight Returns set open. Like I said, extremely stylized. Batman here, he frankly looks ridiculous. Carrie Kelly actually looks pretty good. The Mutant Leader, probably the worst version of Mutant Leader I've seen released. And here are figures 37 through 41. We have Batman the Animated Series Holiday Joker, Batman Beyond 2-pack with Batman and old Bruce Wayne, including Ace the Bat-Hound as a pack-in. Then we have the new Batman Adventures Catwoman and the Riddler, and back to Batman the Animated Series Batgirl. Batman the Animated Series figure 37 Holiday Joker. It's Joker from the first episode of Batman the Animated Series in sort of his Santa Christmas sweater. A lot of cool accessories. Christmas tree in the background. Animated Series. Here's just Batman Beyond 2 or 3-pack, depending how you look at it. Terry McGinnis Batman, Old Man Bruce Wayne, Ace the Bat-Hound, Batman Beyond, figure set number 38, Batman and Bruce Wayne. The New Adventures of Batman, Catwoman, figure 39. She comes with a different version of Isis, Black Suit Catwoman. The new Batman Adventures, figure 40, the Riddler, in his skinny sort of jumpsuit. And back to Batman the Animated Series. This is Batgirl, figure 41, comes with Batarang, very thin female figure. Here's the Holiday Joker. He has a Christmas sweater and a Santa hat. He's got a sock puppet Socko. It's a nice figure. He's made appearances in my Christmas videos. Here's the Batman Beyond 3-pack. While I really feel like Terry McGinnis is far too small, the limbs are so thin. Ace the Bat-Hound and Bruce Wayne are fantastic figures. Here's the new Batman Adventures Catwoman. She is so little, but she hasn't broke like the first one did. Here's the Riddler. Very thin limbs. I cannot stress to you how much I prefer the suited look from the animated series versus this spandex one. Here's Batgirl from Batman the Animated Series. She looks good. They did a nice job capturing the likeness of her. Here's the next assortment of DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series figures. These are figures 42 through 45. This wave consists of Grey Ghost, Hardak Batman, Scarecrow, and Two-Face. This wave saw a big increase in quality, articulation, and even their height seemed to be a little bit bigger. I was in heaven. This wave has become very sought after. It seemed like the line was sort of run out of steam. Then they put these figures out, and they sold a lot better than they expected. Scarecrow is probably the most valuable single card figure in the entire line. I see this guy selling for like $400 on eBay. It's pretty crazy. Batman the Animated Series, figure 42, Grey Ghost. Very nice supporting Batman character, voiced by Adam West. Comes with some cool accessories, a tape of the Grey Ghost, that bomb remote car. Batman the Animated Series. Then there's Hardak Batman, figure 43, a robot Batman hybrid. How can you go wrong? What a great villain to add to the mix. Scarecrow here, based off his second look in Batman the Animated Series. He had a different look for the first episode. He has the unmasked Jonathan Crane head. great touch, nice scythe. Figure 44, Scarecrow, most valuable. And then Two-Face, he's a lot bigger than the new Batman Adventures version. His legs are thicker, his proportions are good. I was very happy with what they were doing with this line, the direction they were going. Figure 45, Two-Face, nice diamond accessory, extra hands, a Tommy gun. Here's the Grey Ghost, a really cool character. I remember really liking that episode as a kid, and still liking it as an adult. Voiced by Adam West. Very nice to have sort of a Batman ally. Here's Hardak Batman. As far as Batman variants go, this guy's pretty cool. It could be a Batman variant, and it could be a whole other character. A villain that's a robot to replace Batman, and doesn't know he's a robot. It was a pretty cool episode. Here's Scarecrow, Jonathan Crane. I really like the figure, and I don't really understand why it is worth so much. And then Two-Face from Batman the Animated Series. This figure is also fantastic. I really like the improvements and the changes I've made for this wave. And here's the next assortment of Batman the Animated Series figures. These are figures 46 through 49. These were basically re-releases of all the figures that made in the GCPD Rogues Gallery set. That was a 5-pack, very unique exclusive set, but I don't know if they didn't make a lot or they're just hard to come by. People were complaining quite a bit that Bane, Croc, Freeze, Ivy, and Montoya were going to be impossible to obtain. So they released the Rogues. Single carded, painted slightly different than the 5-pack. I think the 5-pack figures had a better paint job. So let's take a look. Batman the Animated Series, figure 46, Bane. I like this version. Big figure, comes with a weight. Then we have Killer Croc, painted a little bit paler than the other version. Very big figure, I like that. Killer Croc, figure 47. Mr. Freeze, a ton of hands. I can pretty much hear his voice when looking at him. It was a great episode, Mr. Freeze's first appearance. Figure 48, Mr. Freeze. And then we have Poison Ivy, Batman the Animated Series, figure 49. Poison Ivy has a nice potted plant, ton of hands. Here's Bane, very big, large figure. Fits in pretty good with the DC Universe Classic stuff. When I get to the Rogues Gallery 5-pack, I'll compare these 4 figures to those 4 figures so you can see the differences. Here's Killer Croc, also a large figure, fits in pretty good with the larger scale stuff. I like this version of Croc from the cartoon, more of a man, less of a giant animal that he's become nowadays. Here's Mr. Freeze. I love this version of Mr. Freeze. Great origin story, sympathetic character. And here's Ivy. She looks good. Her arms and legs are very thin. I do like her better than the new Adventures of Batman Poison Ivy figure. And we'll continue with the numbered figures. They took a long break with the animated stuff, and they came back with Batman, The Adventures Continue. This is a comic, canon continuation of Batman the Animated Series. This series will consist of figures 50 through 53. There's a bunch of other non-numbered stuff. We'll get to that shortly. Start off, Batman, The Adventures Continue, figure number 50, Batman. It's going to be a re-release of the Batman we had before, and this guy's self-shaded on the back. Simply sort of the logo for Batman, The Adventures Continue. The Adventures Continue, figure 51, Red Hood. This is Red Hood, Jason Todd in his biker outfit. They introduced a ton of new characters in the comic series. He has alternate heads, and that's fantastic. Red Batarang, Bazooka, Pistol. Here's Azrael, Batman The Adventures Continue, figure 52, Azrael. He's in his Nightfall-esque Batman armor. Another supporting character introduced. Then Harley Quinn, Batman the Adventures Continue, figure 53, Harley Quinn. Looks like the exact same Harley Quinn figure, slightly cel-shaded, still way too small and skinny. Here's the Batman from this assortment. He's done on the newer Batman body. He was featured on the Hard Act Batman and the Batcycle Batman. But he's also cel-shaded. You can see on his outfit, he's got the blue highlights, double jointed knees, an improvement to what has come before. Here's the Red Hood. He's got his brown leather jacket, helmet on. Decent figure. Here's Azrael. He's in his Batman armor, very similar to Nightfall. I like that they introduced Azrael and Jason Todd to this comic series. Here's Harley Quinn. The same figure that they've released a couple different times. Just a tiny bit of cel shading added on there. And this will be the final assortment of numbered figures in this giant Batman the Animated Series line. This will consist of figures 54 through 57. This is Batman the Adventures Continue, the Joker, Super Armor Batman, Deathstroke, and Robin. Batman the Adventures Continue, figure 54, the Joker. Similar accessories, pretty sure it's a different face, probably from the Expressions pack. Back, Batman. Then we have figure 55, Super Armor Batman. Batman in his giant armored suit, similar to Dark Knight Returns. I believe this might be a Kryptonite Batarang. And then we have Deathstroke, figure 56, Slade Wilson, the unmasked head, masked head, all kind of accessories, sword, gun, knife. And finally, Dick Grayson Robin, figure 57, same Robin figure they've released. This one has a tiny bit of cel shading. Now there were supposed to be 2 more waves of these figures, but unfortunately DC Direct crumbled, collapsed, and died before the line finished. Now there's still a possibility McFarlane may release those figures. McFarlane has sort of acquired the rights for DC Direct, and rumor is they're going to be releasing the unreleased Series 2 and Series 3 of DCeased with DC Essentials. If they do that, I would expect them to also release these animated figures. Here's Joker out of the package, essentially the same figure that we got in the single release and the Expressions pack, and here yet again. Here is Super Armor Batman. Batman is big, bulky, stylized, exaggerated armored suit. I actually like this figure, very unique, something different. Here's Deathstroke, or Slade Wilson. He has the same sort of thin, exaggerated, stylized body, but a great addition to the animated rogues. And here's Robin. This guy's been released probably 4 or 5 times. Exact same figure, just a little bit of cel shading. Here are a few miscellaneous animated figures. We'll start off with this Superman the Animated Series 2-pack with Superman and Lois Lane. It seemed like they were going to jumpstart Superman the Animated Series figures. Superman and Lois, very nice pack. Superman and Lois Lane, the first figure in this line, and unfortunately also the last. Superman the Animated Series. Now, I didn't actually get this 2-pack open, as my collection was predominantly Batman related, although I do wish that I had at this point. Now we have Batman from the Justice League cartoon, stylized in his look from the Justice League show. DC Collectibles, the first figure in this line. Justice League, Batman. Now they made the other 7 members of the Justice League, but I thought I only wanted Batman, so I passed on them. And this guy here, this is from Justice League Gods and Monsters, a DC animated film. Batman done in the same sort of style, although this was not part of the Bruce Timm universe. First figure in this line, Batman, masked and unmasked head. He is actually the only figure I got from this line, as I only collect the Batman stuff typically. Here's the Justice League Batman, a little bit different than the Batman the Animated Series or the new Batman Adventures Batman. Here's the Justice League Gods and Monsters Batman. Not from the same universe, but the figure is definitely done in the same style. Now let's look at these expression packs. These are pretty much existing figures re-released with a bunch of different display options, accessories, and interchangeable parts. They weren't numbered with the regular figures. These were expression packs numbers 1, 2, and 3, Batman, the Joker, and Harley Quinn. Here's Batman, Batman the animated series. This is Batman, the first expression pack figure. Expression packs. You've got Batman the package, a ton of different heads, a ton of hands, and a ton of accessories. Then we have the Joker. He is the second expression pack. The Joker expressions pack. He comes with the gray trench coat, purple jacket, interchangeable arms, hands, heads, inner tubes, bang guns, a ton of stuff. You can see an advertisement for Batman on the back here. And then we have the Harley Quinn expressions pack, the third expressions pack. Harley Quinn, ton of heads, even this giant fish head, bazooka, the hyenas, Bud and Lou, unmasked, Dr. Harley and Quinzel head. It's that same Batman the Animated Series Batman they've released a few times, but this one has a ton of different stuff, including an unmasked Bruce Wayne head, alternate capes, etc. It's essentially the same Joker figure they released before, but you can break this one down further and swap out a ton of different parts. And here's Harley Quinn, the unmasked version, Harleen Quinzel. Here's this Mad Love 2-pack. Mad Love was a Batman the Animated Series comic from back in the day. Sort of a love theme pack, Harley Quinn or Nighty, with Batman the Animated Series Joker, Batman, Mad Love. I believe it has the graphic novel or comic inside it as well. The Joker and Harley Quinn. Harley on one side, back, Harley, Mad Love, themed 2-pack. Here are these two out of the box. That same Joker they released as an individual figure and the expressions pack, but this Harley's pretty cool and unique. Now let's look at some of the vehicles. Here's the Batmobile. The vehicles in the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series line were some of the nicest DC collectible pieces out there. This car is massive, it's sleek. They say chicks dig the car. Well, my wife didn't dig the car, especially when she found out how much it cost. Batman the Animated Series. The Batmobile. Here it is on the front. The back, you can see the car looking great. Light up features. At the top, Batman the Animated Series. The bottom, pretty blank. Here's the car out of the pack. Gorgeous vehicle. Absolutely massive and huge. Got the sliding canopy here. It's actually a 2-seater inside there. One of the best Batman vehicles ever produced. Then they released this Batman and Robin 2-pack with working bat symbol. Very cool prop from the show. Batman the Animated Series. Got Batman, Robin, the bat symbol, the top of GCPD headquarters. Straight re-release of Batman and Robin, although I believe these ones had cloth caves that would fit in the Batmobile pretty nicely. Batman and Robin with bat symbol, blank on the bottom. The back, you can see the actual symbol. Here's Batman and Robin with cloth capes, and the bat signal in between them. And then they made this giant super ultra deluxe set. It has the Batmobile, Batman and Robin, and the bat symbol. The Batmobile bat symbol repainted in more chrome colors. Not quite as accurate as the original releases, but still cool. Pack is giant. You can see Batman the Animated Series. You can see Batman, Robin, the bat symbol in the front. The Batmobile is in there though. Animated Series. The Batmobile Deluxe Edition. You can see the Batmobile. The back, an example of what you get. The Batmobile. Here's the car and the bat symbol both lighting up. Here's this new version of the car, the bat symbol, and Batman and Robin out of the box and in the box. Here are the two bat signals next to each other. The one on the left, more of a gray color, that's the original release. The one on the right, a little more chrome color, that's from this huge deluxe multi-pack. Here are both versions of the Batmobile out of the package. The one on the left is the original release, a little more standard gray color. The one on the right, a little more sort of metallic looking. It's from the deluxe pack. Here's the Batwing in the box. To try to explain to you how big this thing would diminish it. This is the largest Batman item I have probably. It's gorgeous both in the box and out of the box. The top, Batman the Animated Series. The front, you can see the Batwing here. One side, Batman the Animated Series logo. Other side says the Batwing. You can see the features, got the claw, light up cockpit, landing gear, and in the back, an image of the Batwing. Here's the Batwing, both out of the box and in the box. Gorgeous piece. I cannot stress to you the size of this thing. It is a holy grail as far as Batman collecting goes, especially in this scale. Here's the Batcave still sealed in the box. This is from Batman the Animated Series and came with an exclusive Alfred figure. It is the only way you get Alfred. This thing was very expensive, but boy has this thing gone up in price. I saw one of these things sell on eBay for like $900 a few months ago. I don't think you'd normally get that much, but it's a very rare sought after piece at this point. Box is giant. Batcave with Alfred. You can see light up features, alternating panels on the computer, Alfred with his dishes. On the backside, an example of the Batcave. Did I mention this thing is giant? Because it is. Here's the open Batcave on top of the sealed Batcave. Yes, I bought two of these. This is definitely a holy grail in Batman collecting. The best Batcave playset diorama out there. I do pretty much any of my Batman allies or Batman figure reviews in this Batcave. It's a great piece and I'm happy to have it. Now we have this Batman the Animated Series GCPD Rogues Gallery set. This is a 5-pack. The packaging is amazing. It's sort of like the GCPD building. You've got cells for each individual character. So you can see at the front, we have Bane, Killer Croc, Mr. Freeze, and Poison Ivy, each with their own cell, each with their own little name tag. And there's more. Got a little police box here with Montoya on the side. The absolute only way you can get this Montoya. The back, examples of some more cells. You can tell Harley Quinn, Joker. Not really sure, maybe Scarecrow, Riddler. Apparently they've escaped. I did get two of these sets, one to open, one to keep unopened. I stacked them on top of each other like this in my Gotham City action figure world to make kind of a building near my GCPD. Here are these figures out of the box. This set is very rare and sought after. Montoya is pretty much impossible to find. These rogues were in such high demand, they re-released them as singles later. Here's an example of each of the single carded figures to the left of the multi-pack versions. I personally prefer the paint job on these multi-pack versions. Bane is very similar, but the new one had a little bit of a gray tone to his black spandex. Killer Croc, the new one was way paler and whiter than this old one. Mr. Freeze, his boots were more pink on the later release. This multi-pack was a little more purple. And then Poison Ivy, this one was a little more green. The other one, a little more sort of teal. And the final piece to look at, this is a Batman and Batcycle pack. This is Batman on the newer body, better articulation, and the Batcycle. Batman and Batcycle, Batman the Animated Series, DC Collectibles. On the back, you can see an advertisement for one of the most sought after waves. Here's Batman and the Batcycle out of the box. The Batcycle has some light up features. And this Batman, he's on the newer body with double jointed knees. This is the only Batman that had the ab crunch. Works good on this bike. Ended up buying 4 of these packs. I wanted to have 3 of these Batcycles loose. The intent was to give one to Batman, Robin, and Nightwing. So that was a look at my entire DC Direct, DC Collectibles, Batman the Animated Series, the new Batman Adventures action figure collection. I would consider my collection complete. Like I said at the beginning, the only thing I'm missing are some of the other Justice League characters. The next episode I'll be covering, that'll be Mattel's Batman Begins collection. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is dHunter. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure collection and action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is dHunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.